tapped in, tuned in, and said, "Yo, more the baddest, Abby, the realest."
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello,
Hello.
hello. Oh, I've got something. Hi guys.
Something.
Why is
somebody.
it? Why are you quiet?
I mean, are you not the are you not the host of the show?
You're
I
the
don't-
excited
I don't know
one
why
today.
you're quiet.
So we're watching you.
Watching
You're
who?
watching me.
4 eyes.
I've been watching you, watching me, and I know you
I
want
don't
it.
want you. I don't want you.
Oh well, whatever.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. As you can see, I'm the only happy one here today. I don't know about the rest of them. But my name is Adiola Kingsley James,
The one and only.
the one and only. And what's your name?
My name's Bookie.
My name is Praiseful, where the only guy, the king of
The king of
the
women.
king of babes.
King of babes.
King of
We should do
jungle.
our own movie called
Yes,
King of Babes.
Yes.
Featuring praise alone.
You
Just
guys are-
him.
By the way, happy Valentine's to you guys.
It has
we're-
passed. It
That's
has
fast,
passed.
brother.
Well,
It's
we're
over.
still up. We still are people, that's because we weren't around last week.
Yes.
Sorry
we
about
yeah.
apologize. We apologize.
But I mean, I hope you guys had a fantastic time. I'm excited to be back again to do what we do best.
Mm-hmm. Just
You know.
talk real deep.
And she's back to do what she does best, to trouble me.
And I'm here to mediate. That's what I do.
Well, that's usually what we do.
I'm the lover.
Even though you are
Oh my
one-sided.
Because it's funny how I'm always in the middle and I'm troubling him, right? So he says,
Yes.
and you're on my side.
So he says.
So he
So he
says.
says.
Okay,
But
Ronja
yeah.
is saying COVID-19 is real. Yes, exactly. We
Yeah,
know,
we're fine.
and we
Thank
take
you.
precaution all the time.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us today. We don't take it for granted because you could have been somewhere else, but you've chosen us. So we thank you for being here today. We started talking about love
Mm-hmm.
because
Mhm.
it's the season and the month of love.
The month of love.
And we started to talk about what love truly means. Is love just meant to be shared on one day? Gifts, nice words, kind words, and the whole 9 yards.
Mhm.
Or is love deeper than that? It's what really is love? Love a statement? Is it a feeling? Is it an action word? Is it something that continues? Is it something that you just say once and that covers it forever? And I mean, I know that we left it on a very deep space the last time
Yeah.
we spoke about it because it was meant to start off light and then we just started going into different spaces and we're like, okay, love is meant to be a good
It's meant to be a good feeling, right?
So we're here back again today and we're talking about the words I love you.
Yes. What does? I mean, we're going to hopefully, I was very excited last time when we started the series, because Praise brought up something that is actually related to knowledge, right? It was the 4 levels of knowledge, was it? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we brought something up about the 4 levels of knowledge. And I just related it directly to love and to be able to expand on the thought, on the idea, on the concept of love. And I hope that we can really get into that today, as we start talking one thing and then
Dovetails
and
into-
then the
yeah.
spirit leads. But this time and we're happy for the spirit to lead, but yeah. So what we want to just look at what I love you means. And people throw those words around like it means like it's nothing. But I mean, I know the way that I want to say what I want to convey when I say I love you. I think that's what we want to discuss. What the words mean. Can we really love unconditionally?
And we also
can we really truly love unconditionally? And look, you don't give me the Bible, agape. I mean,
So what should I give you?
I'm just saying we need to be real.
I can bring your Bonnie book out.
You
don't want
we need to be real with it. Like, can we really, really love? I don't know whether we can look at love language today, but maybe it might infuse into some of the things that we are talking about.
The reason why I touched it is because we said that, you don't, yes, you want to love. So it's one level to love somebody the way you want to be loved. However, the higher level is to love people the way they want to be loved.
Yeah, that's platinum rule.
Yeah. So if I love you the way you want to be loved, then you'll feel happy about it, rather than me enforcing my way of love on you, right? And so that then means that we need to understand our love languages. But yes, it's something that we can definitely go into as we go along. But let's start with our 4 levels observation.
I think before we even go there, we'll start first of all with what this "I love you" means.
Okay.
But I don't know whether to praise. Praise is a.
Let's hear.
I don't know whether he really have romance in his blood like that.
Praise is a romantic.
I'm sure. Anyway.
My wife has told me things. Look at him blushing, black man. Now he's turning pink. Look at him.
He's sweating. His nose is sweating.
I don't know what they're talking about, these girls. I think you guys are after me today, but I won't give you that honor, But I mean, I love you means a lot of things to many people, and that's why we say that for communication to be effective, there has to be mutual definition of terms. Because I can say I love you and I mean I want to have sex with you.
Yeah.
You can say I love you, which means you really, really want to add value to me. It can mean I love you, but I want to punch you. It just means everything. And that's why usually when people say, praise, I love you, I oftentimes will ask, can you expatiate? Because I don't want to take chances. It might mean something else, to you. I remember a story of a lady missionary, true life story, who went to a particular village, and in that village, women don't smile at men, because when you smile at a man, it means you are sexually interested.
Wow.
She didn't do her due diligence, and she just got there, smiled at the guy. The guy smiled back, told the guy I love you. The guy smiled back, and the guy visited her. In her mind, she was winning a soul, a first soul, and the guy raped her. And she cried to the king, and they summoned the guy and said, why did you rape our missionary? And the guy explained, right? And she said, oh no, I only smiled. And he said, no, smiling here to the guy actually means that you want to have sex with the guy. So that's why
20 and 21.
Yeah, many years ago. So no, it's not. It didn't happen there simply. So you always have to find out, what does this mean to you. And like, if we bring in the dimension of the 5 love languages, I love you can mean words to some people, can mean gift to some people, can mean act of service, can mean touch to some people. It can mean anything. And that's why, if you don't know what I love you means to me, and you stay where you are, and you say it's like someone who, and I think I was sharing it with someone yesterday, or his favorite meal, someone who wanted amala, and you spend the entire day cooking fried rice or something like that. And the guy comes in, looks at the fried rice, and he walks away. And you are saying the guy doesn't even show appreciation, but he didn't ask for that. So it's, like every other thing, order taking is the first level to say what is the order. The preferred.
What would you like?
So if I, and that's why oftentimes when we teach love, we usually teach the normal thing, the filial, the agape, the what do you call it? People say all kinds of things, but love is different things to different people.
Yeah.
And also the way love was introduced to you is also very key. And that's why you will meet some people who will tell you, he doesn't love me because he's not beating me and things like that. because
He
that,
doesn't hug me.
in fact, sex can become a love language for some people, depending on how you say it and all, so you have to dig deep and find out what does love mean to you. Now, in the process of knowing what love means to the person, then you can ask for the question, because what a lot of people have come to receive or what they project may not be love. It may be something subjective or the version that was introduced to them, right? But if we go from the purest dimension to the definition of love, from, if we now drill down to say what does love actually mean, then you now begin to talk about it's beyond the feeling. It's got to be a decision, and that decision has to be based on the question, add value to someone else. It must be built on commitment, and it must not necessarily expect.
I was going to say
something
in return.
Something in return.
I was going to say that.
Yeah, because so I always say that love is a decision that is built on a commitment to add value to someone else without expecting a return. Because once it becomes yin and yang, it becomes conditional, then it becomes manipulated,
resentful.
and resentful. So I am giving, and so when I treat cases of heartbreak, I always say to people that my definition of heartbreak is the extra that you have given in the relationship that you couldn't have given to just anybody.
Right.
That's usually what I call heartbreak, because if you had not given that extra,
and it's not reciprocated.
Exactly. Because if you say, oh, I love her and I'm buying a car, are you buying that car with the mentality that I'm going to drive to her and the car comes back to me?
Oh, I'm going to sleep with her.
I'm going to sleep with her. So how many other people do you buy cars for? Who really need?
Are you that fan?
You get so and I think that's the first level we must all learn. The love that gives without expecting anything. That I give it to you because you deserve it, even when you don't deserve it.
Because I want to give it.
Because I want to give it to you. Yeah, because you need it.
Yes.
So, and I think that's when we master that bit, then, and we have no expectation. We will not be disappointed when it's not reciprocated.
Yeah.
But like my friend will always say, Fisayo, that you will reap what you sow, not necessarily where you sowed it.
Right.
Now, many of us try to reap where we sowed. So it says that, it says every time you try to reap where you sow, you will become manipulated, which is why we now bully people.
Yeah.
We now say to them, blackmail them. You don't really love me. You don't do anything for me and things like that.
I remember.
But that's the experience of so many people.
I remember some years ago.
So what does it say there?
See your fine air.
Carry on, please.
So I remember some years ago, I met an older friend or an older person on a job that I was doing, and I know that. I mean, when we started talking, it was on a project I was working with, and I was working closely with him on that project. And I remember he offered me a couple of things. I may just say, for example, I'm tired. Why I didn't sleep too well? Why they took the light? My gen is not working. And he will offer to buy me a generator. So the first time he offered, I'm like, why are you offering me these things? What do you want in return? And he looked at me and said to me, wow, that I wonder the kind of friends that you have had in your life. He says, obviously, all the friends that you have had are people who want something in return. You have never had anybody who genuinely wants to help you. And that statement, even if somewhere in my mind I was like,
you're right.
We will meet in this and I will still hear this story. But he stayed consistent to those words. And to be honest, hardly ever, we hardly even ever saw. So even whenever he wanted to do stuff for me, he would leave it somewhere and say I should go and pick it up from the place. So it taught me something, that not everybody is out for your meat. Not everybody.
Unfortunately, you don't have so many people like that. Which is the way, even our parents, the way they gave us love was more or less conditional. People sent you to school because they expected you to take care of them in their old age, and when you didn't do that, it became something else, So, and that's where we say that love is must first of all be a person before an action, that it must be who you are. I mean, if you were an opener you will open.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
You open any bottle.
Any bottle, you know. They don't have to say thank you to you.
Or those
Yeah.
is it, those lights, ship lights, or what they call them, where they're in the
Just Chinese lights.
Chandelier?
The lights for that boats and ships can ship house. It's a house where you have lights. What's it called?
Oh, like the lighthouse.
Lighthouse,
yeah.
The lighthouse, it doesn't, regardless of what boat it's shining.
So those are the problem. I mean, that's the problem, you know, because we always think, okay, so I'm going to show my other side to you, and that's the way we're framed. So if you belong to a group and you felt, okay, it was time to leave the group, everyone began to hate you, you know, as if you were an outcast. This was a voluntary organization that you walked into, you know, and that's when you now begin to realize that, oh, these people actually love me as long as they benefited from me.
Yeah.
Now that it's looking like I'm going elsewhere, they don't wish me well, and you begin to hear things like, you will just die for nothing, you will just blah blah blah, and you
go and not return.
Exactly, you know, because I remember I was living in a place and someone called me aside. I mean, it was a religious space, and I was in it, you know, for somewhere else. I mean, for crying out loud, my dad was an Anglican priest.
You also have a right.
I left my father's church to go and attend that place, and when it was time for me to leave, someone called me aside and said to me, mention like 6 people that left and they disappeared. And they said, I'm likely going to be the 7th person that will disappear.
They were threatening you.
I'm telling you, you know, and when I left, nobody talked to me. I mean, it was almost as if there was an instruction to say, don't ever talk to this guy anymore. And now that's supposed to be the citadel of love, you know. So what you see consistently is people will do stuff for you. They will be nice to you as long as you were useful to them. Right. And so that is the experience of the typical person. Right. And that's why when you now met someone who doesn't want anything, or the few people who grew up with the proper expression or experience of love, and they're trying to come, you picture them, visualize them, and interpret them through the screen of the pain.
Where you're coming from.
Yeah,
I did that.
You know, I think it even comes down to the simplest things, that even saying things like "I miss you," or you know, even as simple as "I miss you." I remember a few years ago. Not even just that. It's also saying it just so that you can say it back to me.
Okay, someone is asking, can he please explain what it means to love unconditionally when it comes to relationships?
Yeah, he'll get to that. I just want to say, so some years ago, I had this friend. You know, you always say, "Oh, I miss you," and I didn't used to know how to respond to it, because it's like,
I don't miss you.
No, like I don't miss you in the way that I think maybe you're missing me. So if I say I miss you too, even if I may miss you, but I'm thinking, if I say I miss you too, are you going to take it the wrong way? Are you going to? So I used to get very, very uncomfortable about responding. So one day I was like, you know what? The reason why I don't say anything is because I really don't know how to respond, and I don't want you to take it the wrong way.
You also thank you.
No, but he taught me this, right? He said to me, I'm not, and I'm just paraphrasing, I'm not telling you I miss you so you can tell me back that you miss me. I'm telling you I miss you because that's how I feel. Right? And how you take that information is your business. But it is not, but the pleasure is not in you telling me. I mean, it'll be nice if you said you miss me back, but I'm not hinging my experience on your reply. I just want you to know that I have a friend I haven't seen in a while, and I miss you. And that has stayed with me for so long, you know. And even when when people talk to me and you don't even say that, I'm like, if you tell me, if you're like, even I have this friend that you will call, be like, hey, so you have not called me in 2 weeks, or you don't call, and I'm like, but we talk now. And but
what people don't know is that not
talk.
Everyone is like that. There are people that don't miss people because they can actually build a world for themselves everywhere they find themselves. You know, so those people now look like, oh, you don't miss.
Your heart.
No, that's who they are. Meanwhile, there's it's like some people smile naturally. They are not doing anything extra to smile.
I have to tell you guys something that's something that I did some years ago. What past relationship that I had. This guy told me he loved me. I looked at him. I said, you know, let me be honest with you. I can't say those words because I don't mean them. I will only be saying it because you are saying it to me. I want to be able to say those words with my full chest and mean it with everything. If I'm still in a place of, am I even in the right relationship in the first place? I don't want you to build your hope on those 3 words that may never even mean anything to me, but I'm just saying it because you want to hear it.
Well, I'm a lover, guys.
So no, this was years ago.
I don't know about you.
So eventually,
I love you.
a few months later, we're talking, and it was like, I love you. And I smiled because I was like, I know I'm not going to say those words back, but I'm going to give you something. But I think not saying anything at all would have been better. Because this is no, I'm not joking. This is what I said. I said, I appreciate how you feel. I think I'm getting to the place or to a point in our relationship where I might be getting a bit more comfortable, with possibly saying that I love you.
You're an animal. Why did you just shut up? Guys, why did she just shut up?
No joke, guys, no joke. Because I'm like, okay, you're telling me repeatedly that you love me, as if to say that's going to automatically make me love you back or say those words back.
Well, that's what people are used to, and you can't blame.
But for me, it's so much deeper than that.
You can't blame
that point where you can say, "I love you."
Society conditioned you. It's the same way people have been given all kinds of rules and regulations. So, for example, you hear things like your spouse has got to be your best friend.
And soulmates.
So
let's even get to soulmates.
So
let's not.
You would not be looking for a television. Fridge,
so
AC.
so people put unnecessary pressure on themselves. And we need to understand that. You see, you don't have to do anything. I'm going to love you regardless of what you do. Yeah. So it's not. I'm not going to love my wife because she cooks for me or because she gives me sex, and I'm not going to withhold what is due to her. Because she didn't do something and he didn't do, and that's how their love is conditional, and love cannot be conditional.
So what's that question about unconditional love?
What does it mean to love unconditionally when it comes to a relationship?
Okay, so I think I'll say something quickly and then praise that. I think yes. So I think we've kind of touched it, and it's more like, just for clarity, it's more like, regardless of what you do for me, I have chosen to love you, and I will do that. And so whether you smile at me, you don't smile at me, I know it sounds far-fetched, because we've also been taught that your husband or your wife or your girlfriend or your boyfriend is going to make you happy. Yeah. But the truth is, it's not their responsibility.
No human beings can make you happy.
It's not their responsibility. So the highest level is that what you are looking for is a relationship with yourself, but not many people are ready to hear that. Yeah. So I'm not going to push that. However, if you're talking about someone else, be sure to know that your love and the responsibility of you loving yourself is your responsibility, not another person's responsibility. Now, because you are a kind of person or you do certain things, doesn't mean that other people will do the same thing back. Yeah. So if you do it because you are expecting it back, then that's conditional love. It's no longer unconditional. Yeah. Unconditional is that I will do what I want to do regardless of who you are, and it won't change me. And I will not stop loving you. And
unconditional love doesn't mean yes all the time.
Absolutely.
Part of love, no, is part of love.
Yes.
Right.
Creating boundaries.
So people don't understand these things. They just think that, because I love you, you must find expression in my life. No. Yeah. Because if you have a child and your child is on the 40th floor and he says, "Mommy, I'm going to jump down. I know you love me. You're going to allow me to do it." Love at that point will not be yes. So it's people think that love. They think that love is foolishness, and love tolerates all.
Love is blind.
No, that's not what love is. So when you understand, so some people you need to withhold things to save them from themselves, right? And that's why if you love someone and the person is saying, Kai is bad. And the person is saying, but I know you love me. This car is bad. It's given. Or the car's been laced with bomb. But the guy is saying, I have faith that the bomb will not explode or something like that. my sweetheart, come and enter. Love at that point is that to tie him down or to even put sleeping pills so that he can sleep off. That by the time he wakes up, the event is past. That's love. But so that's a dimension of love that is not taught by many people. What they just say, if you love him, you will take every stupidity, you will take if he slaps you, you will just stay there. No, love for self and love for God is to say, I must not die. Separation becomes love at that point in time. So that I can
necessary.
So that you can stay safe and he can come to his senses and you can negotiate from afar. So
alive.
Yeah, because a lot of people, this thing has been wrongly taught. So when they hear unconditional love, they just think it's all nice. No, that's not what it is.
And love,
right?
whether somebody wants to kill you or
Yeah,
not.
so you need to understand that bit to say true love actually saying no when you have to say no. So you have a spouse who is a spendthrift, every time the only time it's nice is it comes. He's always coming up with one big business deal, then you give him the money, you fund it, and it goes. Love after a while is to say, no, I have the money, it's called detachment, but I'm not going to give you because I'm going to save you from you. I'm not going to fund your smoke because you are a drug addict. It's just that you are smoking money. I'm not going to allow you, because if I stop supplying the money, then you become responsible. So that's love at that point. So unconditional love is to say, I'm going to do it irrespective of what it does, or whether it's in the right for me to do or what I need to do. That's unconditional love. I think we've answered that question.
So please, send in your questions, send in your comments. We'll take your questions now. Let's talk about the 4 levels of love. Praise, this is your territory. We will support you in this conversation, but I think just breaking it down in these 4 levels, I think will really just expand the conversation.
But you're the one now making it 4 levels of love. I thought about how people learn, but
that's how you learn to love.
Yeah,
but that's how you learn to
love.
But
it's fine.
So talk about
level
observation.
1 is observation.
Let's talk about observation.
Observation is basically what you the first
the first 7 years of your life
is basically what people do. So nobody taught you how to do a score.
Abi?
No, nobody sat you down. Nobody sat you down to say, on this planet you do waka or you do a score, or you just saw that people started doing it, and nobody has held any gun to anybody's face and say, SAG. You learn that by observation. So many of us, the way we exhibit love is by observation. What our parents did. My own dad, his love was conditional because my dad, if you came first at school, so my father used to eat with about 5 mates, right? Piece of meat, and you will have one. If you did well at school, while my father, he will give you one of his own, and you will feel good because meat used to be very sweet. So 4 of you can be on the table, 2 of you have done very well, or 1 person did very well. I usually came first, the others would not. So you can ask them. I was ever first. My father will cut it and give me, then he wouldn't give the others. But the day you don't do well, you don't get that meat. So for a long period of my life,